Welcome to Valladolid, or as a lot of the tourists call it, Valladolid. I'm just sitting here in the Central Park and was about to pull out my camera to do some recording, and yeah, it looks like it's about to start raining here any minute. Uh, so I don't really know what to do. I'm just recording this on my phone, sitting here on a bench, waiting to see if this rain passes or not. But that will greatly determine how this day is going to go, I think. We had some unbelievable rain here yesterday. I got here on the bus and was walking to the hotel I'm staying at, and I didn't even quite make it. I was about 2 blocks short, and then the skies opened up and it absolutely poured for a good 45 minutes, and the roads were flooded, sidewalks were flooded. It was just a mess. So I'm just kind of waiting to see if it's going to happen again today, or if this is going to clear off, but it doesn't look great at the moment. It was sunny here about half an hour ago, and now those skies are very dark and the wind is picking up and stuff. So we'll just give it a few minutes and see what happens. In the meantime, had a great time in Merida. Kind of wished that I had had more time to do some exploring rather than just letting my knee get better. But as you saw from the videos that I did get, my time at Uxmal was unbelievable. Had a fantastic time there. Getting from Merida over here to Valladolid was very simple on the bus. ADO bus took like 2 hours, 2.5 hours or something. And yeah, so it's great. And it's a great little town. I haven't seen too much of it yet, but I did kind of walk around the central square here a little bit just before what looks like about to rain. And yeah, beautiful little historical city here. So I'm hoping to get to check out some of that. So I have a couple of day trips planned while I'm here. One, of course, is over to Chichen Itza, the most famous of the Mayan ruin cities that are here. I expect it to be very crazy, very busy the whole time that I'm there. But I'm going to go early. I believe it opens at 8, so I'm going to try and get into a colectivo before that so that I can arrive right around when it opens to get in and get out before most of the crowds arrive, usually, which is around like 10:30, 11 a.m. That's when the buses start showing up with people and it gets really crazy. So on top of that, I'm also planning to try and get out to Ekbalam, which is another ruins here. I've read from many people that it's actually just as nice or better than Chichen Itza, but without the crowds. Like 1/10 of the people go there. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we're going to try and explore some of the city here. And yeah, we'll see what else is all about here in Valladolid, here in the Yucatan in Mexico. So I'm just here in the central square in Valladolid, and the rain has started. So we're just going to make our way through here a little bit and go for a short stroll until the rain becomes too much to deal with. Beautiful park here though in the center of town with lots of seating areas and stuff, and these popular, they call them the kissing chairs they have here. Not sure how much I'm going to get filmed here at the moment just because the rain is starting to come down quick, but we will see. I've really been enjoying, as I expected, this part of Mexico so far. Up here in the Yucatan, the beginnings of the Mayan Riviera, which heads down from here down the coast. I'm looking forward to as well. But yeah, this whole area, I really like it. It feels much more laid back. It's very warm, of course, and humid. Even here now in almost the middle of November. But yeah, I can't complain. It's a beautiful spot. The rain is very quickly coming down hard. This is the Church of San Sebastião, which is right across from the square here in Valladolid, and seems like a pretty popular spot. We'll check that out maybe later. I think the next few days actually might be on the side of rainy if things continue the way they are. I think that from what I've seen, it looks like I'm here for today and 2 more full days at this point, and it looks like at least 2 of those days it might be rainy. So it's a good thing I have a rain jacket. It just sucks that it's so hot and humid that the rain jacket just makes everything feel that much worse. So I'm not sure which is better, walking in the rain or wearing a rain jacket and getting warm. But yeah, I'm just standing here under this tree here at the moment where it's not raining on me yet, and waiting to see if this passes. But I'll give you another shot around here, the Central Park area and the square. So on top of the church that's here, the municipal building is actually over there as well, and features a 2nd-story art museum. And a lot of the paintings are around the history of Valladolid in the area. So might try and get into that too. Looking for a couple of options to do indoors if this rain keeps up. This part of Mexico also has a very heavy concentration of tourists. So one thing that's to keep in mind is that if you're looking for places to kind of get off the beaten path and escape from, you know, a lot of the touristy side of Mexico, from here on, you know, to sort of east to Cancun and then south from there, this whole stretch really gets pretty touristy. It's certainly a very different experience than, let's say, Baja California was, where I would sometimes go days and not see another tourist in some of the places I was in, and that's certainly not the case here. And you know, for me it's fine, I don't mind. I mean, I've been wanting to see all of Mexico, and that's what I've accomplished. But for some people who like a quieter aspect to their travels, or maybe want to avoid, you know, being around a lot of other tourists, this part of the country probably isn't the best place for that. I mean, there's certainly lots of advantages to this part of the country as well. It's easier to get around, more transportation, things like that. Oh, just heard some thunder. Well, so far it's getting heavier, not lighter. It's a good thing my hotel is only 2 blocks from here. Well, there's a momentary break in the rain, so let's head over to this church and have a look. Just a quick walk through, obviously, with people in there, and didn't want to disturb anything or talk about it, but it's a pretty grand old church. Very different style than a lot of the other ones that I've seen. A little bit of blue sky up there. We might luck out yet with some good weather. So this is Calle de los Frailes, Avenue Street 41A. So this road is the one that used to link the Spanish city of Valladolid and the original Mayan village of Sisal, which was at the far end. It's now all part of the same city now, but it's a different kind of layout to it. Most of the streets here in Valladolid are very squared off. Much of the city is built on a grid, but this one kind of goes off on like a 40-degree angle from the rest of the streets. And it's a really beautiful street. They've got all these colorful hangings above the street, and much of the buildings that are here are the original colonial style buildings, which now have restaurants, hotels, stores, spas, all those types of things are all along this street. And at the far end is the famous convent that's here in Valladolid as well. The convent of San Bernardino is at the far end of this street. So we'll take a walk up that far at least, have a look around. As at this point, looks like the rain may be done, at least for now, but I suspect it will be back. So we're just coming to the end of the street here where the original Mayan village of Sisal would have been and where the old convent building now exists. There's actually a little bit of a park here as well. So we'll get down here and see what's around. So we've just about made our way to the convent, and I just came to stop at this little sign here about Valladolid, saying that it's one of the oldest cities on the peninsula, capital of Maya East, is what they call it. And so here is the old convent building. I'll put a note on the screen if I'm wrong, but I believe that this convent now sits on what was the original village of Sisal, the Mayan village that was here for hundreds of years. Take a walk this way so we can get a better view of it. So here we are in front of the old convent building here in Valladolid. Nice little square here, not super busy. Of course, you've got the town letters here as well if you wanted to stop and get a picture with those. And lots of green space here as well, which is nice. And I believe you can actually go inside, and I believe there's a little museum inside with some of the history of the city, some of the pre-Hispanic history as well. So let's go inside and have a look. So the convent of San Bernardino de Siena, or the Saint Bernardino of Siena, was a convent that was constructed beginning in 1552 under what was at the time the Franciscan order, and the main chapel was finished in 1560. So this convent actually, after its construction was finished in 1560, was actually a church at first, before it became a convent. So then it remained in the hands of the Franciscan order until it was 1755, at which time it was desecularized and abandoned. And then the restoration efforts began in the mid-1900s, and in 1978 they were doing some restoration on some tableaus, and they actually found some paintings that had been hidden since probably the 16th century. And they had no author or painter's name on them. However, they were discovered in relatively perfect condition because they had been hidden for so long. So there's a little information museum here in the building. We're going to go take a walk inside and have a look. So the museum entry fee was 40 pesos, which is very reasonable. It's less than $3. And yeah, let's have a little walk through. So you first come into this room, meeting room maybe, boardroom. Just taking a walk through here, and it showcases some of the different artwork and statues that are located here, many of which are from the 16th century. It's just a stunning old building. There's a actual museum here as well with some of the artifacts from the area. There's the old church bells there, which were raised from the convent back in the 1700s. And then here there's pieces of pottery, stone carvings, and a ton of information on the excavation efforts So on the grounds behind the building is one of the more impressive features of this convent. And let's go over here and take a look. There's the old well, but that's not the impressive part. I mean, it's impressive, but it's not. You'll see. See, backyard area here at the convent, showing all the grounds and this building, which is kind of cool. So this building was built in the 1600s, early 1600s, and had one purpose, which you may get a hint from right here. So what we are standing in here behind the convent is what's known as a water wheel. And this was a direct access point to an underground cenote down through this fence. I don't think you'll be able to see much, but there was a underground water spring here, natural spring, that they would use here as part of the convent building for their water access. So they would pump it up from the ground and then distribute it from here. And in the 1600s, it was quite the magnificent feat to have been able to create such an engineering marvel as this. And it's amazing. Like, it's just so cool that they were able to properly engineer this. So I found a light switch, so you can kind of see down at the bottom there where that water is reflecting off the light. That would be the cenote down there, and you know, this would have basically been the well that would have been used. So one of the neat things about Valladolid is that the town is literally surrounded by and on top of all kinds of different cenotes. Some of them are within the city limits, like this one, and there's some other public ones not too far away. And there are some other ones a little bit farther outside the city, which I'm hoping to get to while I'm here to check them out. But yeah, this whole area is just full of underground natural springs. And, you know, in this case, it was used to provide water for, you know, well over 150 years to the monastery and the surrounding area as well. Very cool. There's a shot there. The rest of the yard you can see goes back quite far. I would say a couple hundred feet, probably. Even today, still being maintained. Absolutely beautiful spot here. Gonna head up to the second floor here and see what's up here, if I can even get up there. Just kind of wandering around up here on the second floor a little bit. There's a shot here of the actual church from up on the second story balcony.